So, if you're a creative who feels blocked, drained, second guessing yourself, you're wondering what you're doing with your life, you're wondering if you're ever going to reach your dreams, you're wondering what your dreams even are, before you assume that something is wrong with you, I want you to consider something else. What if the difference is really in your environment? Think about that. What if the difference is really in your environment? And some creatives, they don't need fixing. All they need is a shift. They need a different room. Hi, my name is Shantae, and I'm the founder of Creatives Unboxed, where our mission is to help creatives win where others quit. And when I talk about a creative, I'm not talking about just artists. I'm talking about anyone who carries ideas, insight, vision, or energy that can impact the world. That could be through art, that could be through leadership, that could be through storytelling, or just building something new. And here's the thing with creative people, we are deeply affected by our environment. We are deeply impacted by our environment. And just a personal story that really triggered this the resources that I'm gonna tell you about at the end of this video. But I remember I was at church one day, and one of the church members came up to me and she said to me, "I love how you tame your gift." She said, "I love how you tame your gift." And tame, T-A-M-E. So she said she loves how I tame my gift. And at that moment, first of all, I knew I wasn't going to be at that church much longer. And that really resonated hard with me, because basically what she was saying is, I like that you don't shine that bright. And I know the reason she said that, and I get more depth of that story in the book, but she said that she was referring to me as the band director and the music director, where I was having issues where basically people were trying to dim my light. Like, I shined so bright that it made so many people uncomfortable. They were trying to undercut me. They were trying to replace me with people to do what only I could do. And that's not even trying to sound like I'm not I think higher of myself or anything like that, but I'm confident in what, God has given me. And so it was just a lot of games trying to, diminish my light, try to make it seem like I'm not, like I'm just common. My gift is just common, and that anybody can do what I can do. But that's not the truth. And when she told me she liked that I tamed my gift, mind you, this was someone who was also, she was over the children's choir. And we were working together on the children's choir, but somehow she managed to get me not working with the children's choir anymore. But that's a whole nother story. So it was just a whole lot going on. But back to my point, when she said that, I just felt like I needed a new environment. And, I didn't really know how to get out of that environment. But I'm thankful that a series of events happened to get me out of that environment, because it showed me that, for one, I outgrew that environment. And then two, it just showed me the importance of environment. Because if I was put in a different environment where they just let me be free creatively, man, that music department would have been on another level. But that's the thing. People, especially creatives, we have vision. We have vision. These people, they get in these roles and they really don't have vision. They just want titles. They just want to be seen saying, "Oh, look at me, I'm doing this, I'm doing something," but they have no vision. They don't have the, what they would say, the oil for this. They don't have the anointing for this, right? They don't know the labor that I put in to develop my gifts and what's been given to me. And for this lady to tell me she likes how I tame my gift, oh my God, that was a wake-up call for me, right? And that's when I realized, again, I wasn't too much. I was just in a space that could not hold me. And I know that is a lot of your story. And that's the thing. People, they see your light better than you do at times, because we're conditioned, especially women, to play this kind of humble role, Don't show how great you are. Just give just a little bit. Don't give too much. You don't want to make people uncomfortable. Just shrink. And we're conditioned to do that, but we're coming up out of that, right? And that's not the place for a creative. That is not the place for a creative, because you are designed to be an instrument, right? Ideas are supposed to pass through you, and they're supposed to come, right? That's how we create in the world. That's how we make things better in the world. The idea comes to somebody, and then they keep growing it, and they keep working it, right? And it gets better and it gets better. So I want you to think about that, creative. What if the issue really isn't you? The issue is your environment and who you're around. And a lot of the times, these environments that we stay in are just nothing but sabotage. We're just staying in an environment of sabotage. And sometimes it's not even that the case. Sometimes you just outgrown where you are. You've learned everything you were supposed to learn in that environment. And what happens is when you stay in an environment too long, and you're in a different season, you're competing with the old season that you're trying to stay in, when life is trying to pull you and help you see that you're really supposed to be in a new season. And that's the thing about creatives too, is that we are so emotionally tuned in. Am I lying? We are so emotionally tuned in. We can feel energy very well. We can feel tension. We can read body language. We can just read the temperature. You know how they say, read the room? We as creatives know how to read the room. And a lot of that stems from childhood and survival and, some things we grew up with, right? But that sensitivity is a strength for us, because it means that environments hit us harder. Let me just tell you, and it's even environments. When I'm talking about environments, that's social environments, that's physical environments, that's your environment in your home, like how your home life is, right? And just to give an example, I noticed with certain friends that I had, I don't have those friends anymore, but certain friends that I had, I noticed like I would gain weight with certain friends, because they created an environment where our relationship really revolved around food. We're always going to get food. Let's watch a movie and eat food. Let's hit up this new spot. Let's go to the farmer's market and try all it. Everything just evolved around food. And I noticed I started to get a gut. And I'm like, what is going on? Why am I getting a gut? And I was like, oh, because all we're doing, this environment is just causing me to overeat. And once I left that environment, the weight just dropped. And that's just a physical example of how sensitive we are to environments and how we pick up on habits of other people. And we pick up on what is around in that environment. So if the environment is not causing you to grow, and those things are happening, imagine what happens when you get in the right environment that pushes out the best in you, that regulates your nervous system, that it just brings you to a new level internally where you're like, wow, I didn't know I can even do that. You're in an environment where people believe in you and they're not intimidated by what you bring to the table, and they're actually pushing you and saying, hey, I know there's more, what's going on? And it's not in a way to take advantage of you, but it really is a genuine push to help you see who you are and make you a little uncomfortable to grow. That's the best position to be in, right? And I always say the rooms you're in either grows you or slows you. And you can't plant a seed in dry soil and blame the seed. And that's the thing about a seed. I love seeds, are so miraculous to me. And when people say they see God in the mountains and the big things and the universe and all that, I see God in the small things, like just a seed, right? A seed knows what it's supposed to do. The seed was created to produce a certain fruit, a certain outcome. An apple seed cannot produce oranges. You know what I'm saying? Like that seed is programmed to do something specific, but it needs the right environment. And then it knows what to do. It knows, germination. It knows Okay, when I get this amount of water, I'm going to go ahead and sprout out, and we're going to build the roots. And then, oh, the soil's just right too. Oh, yes. So, okay, I'm going to absorb this water, and we're just going to grow the foundation, and we're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then after some years, we're going to bear some fruit, and this fruit is going to feed the world. Come on. Come on. And again, I'm speaking to creatives, and if you're creative, I know I'm talking, you understand exactly what I'm saying. So let's talk about how bad environments show up, how you know you're in a bad environment. If you're downplaying your ideas, if you have to dim your light because you don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, that's not where you need to be. That's a sign that you've outgrown that environment. That is a sign that you have outgrown that environment. If you're always over explaining yourself, trying to explain your moves and why you're doing, no. If you find yourself losing motivation for life, for your dreams, for your visions, you're in the wrong environment, right? If you're creating in private but avoiding visibility, why are you hiding? It's because of your environment. You have people in your ear that are telling you you can't do something, right? And what does that do over time when every time you have a big dream or vision and then you have someone shooting it down saying, that's not gonna happen. You saw what happened to so and so. Oh, it didn't work for me. No, it didn't work for me. So if it didn't work for me, it's not gonna work for you. If I had $1 for every time someone said that to me, that it's not gonna work for me, that my dreams, it should have happened 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I definitely separated myself from them because first of all, you don't know what I can do. You don't know what's inside of me. Right? You're just lazy, right? A lot of people, and that's the thing, a lot of people, they will give you bad advice to keep you stuck in a bad environment mentally. They purposely give you bad advice so that you stop believing in yourself. And it's not like they tell you that, but that's the point. They plant seeds of doubt, and then now you're like, well, and words are so important. The words you hear are so important, especially from people around you that have influence in your life. And, if you're feeling drained after certain rooms or conversations, that's a sign that you're in a bad environment, right? And you don't shrink because you're insecure. You shrink because you're adapting. And I'm telling you, if you just think about it, if you stay in a certain environment for so long, like let's say you want to learn how to dance and you don't know how to dance. I guarantee you, if you stay in a dance class, if you stay in that environment with dancers who are better than you, give it a year. You're going to be such a great dancer because you're in that environment and your body picks up. It's a language. Like dance is a language in itself, right? You start to take on the energy of the room, and especially if you're in a hype class and the class is very supportive and everyone's hyping each other up, you're just watching, and that environment gets into you. And that's how you see like little kids like 5 years old in these dance classes just eating everybody up. It's because they stayed in that environment long enough to be influenced by it. So imagine who you could become if you get out of bad environments and you elevate into environments that align with where you want to go, right? And here's the thing, and that's the thing about creative people, we attract a lot of attention. Even when we're trying to be low key, like we can just be quiet at work, we can really just mind our own business, but we attract attention wherever we go because we stand out. And not all of the attention is healthy attention. And a lot of people, they know how to be smooth with their words and act like they just have so much admiration for you. But they use that as a way to control and to project onto you. So this is where discernment is so important as a creative. And the thing is, when your light shines, both miracles and moths show up. Let me say that again. When your light shines, both miracles and moths show up. So I would say right now, this will be a great time just to self-reflect and see Who do you want to become? And what type of environment will help you get there? What type of friends would help you get there? Right? Just like if you want your dream body, you have to change your environment and you have to be in the gym. Not saying you need the gym, but you get what I'm saying. You have to change your environment in your house, meaning your fridge. What do you have in your fridge? Get that food scale. Start counting them calories. You have to change your environment. And this is just an opener. We're gonna talk about this topic too as well, because I see many creatives, their biggest downfall is like one of the easiest things to spot, and it's their environment and who they're around and what they're being exposed to. And I challenge you to take inventory and really look at your life and see what environments no longer serve you, what environments diminish you, what environments would really elevate you and change your life, right? And the thing is this, you are allowed to leave environments that drain you. Especially if you're an adult, you can leave environments that drain you. No one is holding you hostage. You do not need permission to choose better rooms, right? Sometimes you find a space, sometimes you build it. And it's just really shifting into awareness. And, your creativity deserves a space that can hold it. And I'm going to link below in the description. I have some resources for you that talks more about changing your environment. And there are different environments, right? There's your online environment, your social media environment. There are so many environments that impact who we are and where we can go. And I challenge you, if you're trying to go to another level, 2026, man, if you just lock in, I know we say this a lot, just lock in. But sir, if you get so focused, you can be a totally different person in 6 months to a year. And look how fast time is moving. We're already going into February, right? Look how January is already done. Look how fast time is moving. And here's the trick. Time is moving fast, but here's how you win. You want to get the most out of each day. And then you do that every day. And then those habits compound and then you get a new result. So really it's just seeing how impactful can you be with your time each day. But if you have a bad environment is going to waste your time. So we're going to continue this conversation. If anything stuck out to you, just put it in the comments and I'll see you later.